When I think about evangelical voters, I think back to the past. I think about family values. I think about morals. Donald Trump is not somebody who's hewed closely to that. He's had 3 marriages. He says whatever he wants on Twitter. He swears all the time. He makes fun of people's appearances.
Sure.
How do you argue that?
Well, like I said earlier, and when it comes to the voting booth, we have seen more protection of innocent life, which for most white evangelicals across the country, the question of life and innocence remains the #1 driving public policy question. So I think that we've seen progress on that front.
I don't mean to interrupt, but we have innocent children being separated from their parents at the border. Those are our babies.
So by the way, for us, our organization, Faith and Freedom, has espoused a much more thoughtful approach to that, which we believe that unification of nuclear families is a paramount.
What about keeping them in detention?
Priority. Well,
indefinitely.
I mean, so we got questions on a 1997, court order coming out of the Ninth Circuit that we're still dealing with. That actually is the jurisprudence that drives that question. So what we would actually propose, which we've been talking about for a year actually now, is to streamline an immigration policy that prioritizes nuclear families, not necessarily extended families, because for every extended family that isn't getting in, the nuclear family is being.
I'm not sure you're addressing what the Reverend just said, which is if you're talking about being pro-life and protecting fetuses, protecting babies in the womb, what about the babies who are being taken away from their parents at the border? If that, why was, and I get this question a lot from folks when they talk about evangelicals, why was that not as offensive, if not more offensive, than something like abortion?
Well, again, I mean, like I mentioned earlier, I think that we've made progress in reconciling, in resolving more and more of that problem on the immigration front. I personally believe that that Congress actually needs to work on that for a long-term solution rather than an executive activity that was the same executive activity that's been happening for a decade now.
I'm going to have to leave it here. Reverend Raphael Warnock, I know you're having a prayer service tonight to get out the